The most recent instance of terrorists utilizing vehicles to kill is the attack on New Year's revelers on Bourbon Street. In recent years, fatal car ramming incidents have occurred in New York City, Wisconsin, France, and a German Christmas market. Unfortunately, suspected terrorists have used vehicles to kill people before, including the deadly ramming attack on New Year's revelers in New Orleans. The violence on Bourbon Street occurs only weeks after a doctor from Saudi Arabia is accused of killing 5 people, including a 9-year-old kid, on December 20th when he crashed a car into a packed Christmas market in Magdeburg, Germany. Over 200 more people were hurt. Additional car ramming instances have occurred during packed events in Nice, France, Waukesha, Wisconsin, and New York City in recent years, as a former Trump Department of Homeland Security, DHS, officer cautions about the vulnerability of soft targets. Vehicle-as-a-weapon attacks, such as car ramming, are very successful. We should all exercise caution while going and taking in mass gathering events in light of this attack, which follows the terrible events at the German Christmas market. Brian Harrell, a former assistant secretary at DHS under the first Trump administration, told Fox News Digital. Soft targets and crowded places will always be desirable for terrorists given the potential loss of life. In the first Trump administration, we recognized that vehicle as a weapon was a true threat that needed to be mitigated, Harrell said. Public venues, also known as soft targets, are difficult to secure because of their openness, which leaves them exposed to assault. Locations where people of all backgrounds should be able to gather freely, peacefully, and without fear of harm are the targets of bad actors. Our society cannot tolerate such aggression. Authorities say a suspect crashed a truck into crowds on Bourbon Street, killing at least 10 people and wounding scores more. The FBI is looking into an act of terrorism that occurred Wednesday, and the White House has been briefed. Fox News Digital was informed by a senior New Orleans Police Department source that Shamsud Din Jabbar was the deceased suspect. He opened fire on cops and was killed. According to the source, Jabbar had a Glock and .308 rifle with suppressor and optics that had been reported stolen in New Jersey. There are at least 4 or 5 other individuals involved, the source continued. There were 2 officers shot. Police discovered allegedly functional explosive devices on Bourbon Street, a source told Fox News Digital. While the inquiry is ongoing, Bourbon Street is still surrounded by an 8-block cordon. An staffer at the Bourbon Orleans Hotel's front desk told Fox News Digital that she had to go a considerable distance through the police barricades after driving to work at around 6 in the morning. She thought something had exploded since she heard what sounded like at least 2 gentle bangs, even though she could not see much. The car used in the attack crossed the U.S.-Mexico border in Eagle Pass, Texas, in November, Fox News said. Nevertheless, the car changed hands at some time because the suspected Bourbon Street attacker was not operating the vehicle. The college football playoff quarterfinal between Georgia and Notre Dame is still scheduled to begin Wednesday night in New Orleans with a Sugar Bowl, but the dome was locked down for security checks. Here are some recent car ramming attacks in Louisiana, a renowned tourist location still in shock from one. The German Interior Minister issued a warning on Monday that it was too soon to suspect terrorism in the Christmas market incident that occurred on December 20th. According to DW, the suspect is a 50-year-old Saudi psychiatrist who arrived in Germany in 2006 and was given refugee status 10 years later. Even though this year's iconic Times Square New Year's Eve ball drop went off without a hitch, the deadliest terror event to hit the Big Apple since 9/11 was a car ramming incident that occurred in 2017. Sayfullo Saipov of Uzbekistan struck over 20 people on the Hudson River bike path in Lower Manhattan on Halloween afternoon in 2017 with a 6,000-pound vehicle. According to the New York Times, he finally crashed into a school bus and leaped from his vehicle while yelling Allahu Akbar, which translates to God is great in Arabic. The suspect was shot in the abdomen by an officer. He killed 8 people, according to the prosecution, and seriously injured numerous more, including a 14-year-old kid. In May 2023, a judge sentenced Saipov to 260 years in jail and 8 consecutive life sentences for the ISIS-inspired attack. According to the prosecution, the survivors had severe psychological anguish, life-altering physical ailments, severe brain traumas, and amputations. On November 21, 2021, 3 years ago, Darrell Brooks Jr. crashed his red Ford Escape into a Christmas procession in downtown Waukesha, Wisconsin, a Milwaukee suburb. 8-year-old Jackson Sparks, who was marching with his baseball team, was one among the 6 individuals killed in the attack. Tamara Durand, 52, Wilhelm Hospel, 81, Jane Coolidge, 52, Leanna Owen, 71, and Virginia Sorensen, 79, were the other casualties. 4 of them belonged to a group known as the Dancing Grannies. Another 62 were injured. The following November, Brooks was found guilty on 76 counts, including 61 counts of reckless endangerment and 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide, and given a life sentence without the possibility of parole. Mohammed Lahouaj Boulal, a suspected supporter of the Islamic State, drove a 19-ton truck across Nice, France's famous seafront on July 14, 2016, when hundreds of people were there to enjoy Bastille Day fireworks. 450 people were injured and 86 people died as a result of the terror attack. Although police killed Lahouaj Boulal, 8 other people were found guilty by a French court in 2022 of aiding in the planning of the massacre. According to NPR, their punishments varied from 2 to 18 years.